All right, folks, welcome to the episode of the Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valera. On today's episode, we're going to continue taking a look at the Trust a Game of Greed, episode 7, our final episode before our season finale airs on January 24th. The new show, 11 strangers are given $250,000 to split evenly. Will they take their fair share, or will the allure of more money cause them to vote each other out to keep more for themselves? It's the ultimate test of human nature as greed and mistrust threaten to destroy even the strongest of relationships. Of course, after the elimination of now Winnie at the kickoff of episode 7, we are down to 6 individuals that could potentially split over $200,000. Of course, everyone needs to be reminded that Winnie does leave with $20,000 because somebody was eliminated. Unfortunately, it was her. Brian reveals to the group that he gets a ticket to the vault. Tolu is, of course, having a meltdown. Tolu and Julie are sitting there and talking to each other. Julie is worried that the men will be mad if they find out she didn't vote after she lied, saying she would. She said she feels bad for Lindsay because they are one in the same. Brian has entered the vault. He's weighing the option of whether or not to take an offer on the table. $30,000 is Brian's from the pot, but he must block 3 people's vote at the next ceremony. And then, of course, he gives Mr. I don't deserve this, is a genuine person, but like, this is insane, bro. It's $30,000, bro. $30,000 is life-changing money at this point. You're already potentially getting a share of money, but if for some reason you find yourself kicked out of the show, you're still walking away with $30,000. It's just like Winnie. Winnie knew she was on the odds out, so she took the offer, got $20,000. Okay, so he had to take the so he's weighing whether or not to take the offer. So he took the offer. Obviously, he points it through, but however, the 3 people he didn't get to pick who didn't get to have their votes blocked. He picked 3 cards with which Brooke reveals to us are Julie, Jake, and Brian. Those are the 3 votes that will not count tonight. He doesn't know it. Brian is talking to Julie about the quote unquote 5 of them, and they are mucking it up or ready to share a moment together. And then, of course, I'm sorry, Jake and Jasper and Julie and them were talking about the 5 of them, and then Brian arrived. He is honest with them about the $30,000. Of course, 3 people's votes are canceled out. Jake mentions they must vote Tolu out, period. And Julie doesn't want to vote, but Julie doesn't want to vote and doesn't appreciate them pushing her. If you recall, what pushed Julie away from Tolu and Winnie was them forcing her to make a consideration for voting. Brian sees Jake and Julie snuggling under the covers and makes him kind of feel uncomfortable. This is my thing, okay? If y'all want to get under the covers and snuggly wuggly and do all those weird things, perfectly fine. Do it, right? However, there's been people voted out of the show. Go to another room. Like, respect other people. Like, people have boundaries. Like, be respectful. This shit just made me so mad. I don't even know why. Tolu said she's going to fight to say. I love that. Tolu sits down with Brian, Jack, and Jasper to talk to them. But Lindsay was rude as fuck to her and asked her to leave. Lindsay is snapping at the boys. She's like, I blew out the candle and you were supposed to keep it private. She goes off the deep end on them, telling them that they're idiots. She goes completely unhinged on all of them, calling them idiots, and they're all kissing her ass because they need the numbers, obviously. This dynamic is weird here. Like, I couldn't believe that these guys just sat there as they were just, she was going crazy. And the thing about it is Brian, Jake, and Jasper, that's 3 votes, okay? You have those 3 and you have the 3 girls. Tolu's not working with Lindsay. You could literally go to Tolu and get her to come on your side. Julie's, a wild card here when it comes to voting, but you really have 4. Brian, Jasper, Julie, and Jake. You have 4 people. You didn't need her numbers. And the way that she just snaps at all of them, it blew me away that they didn't they just let it happen. Like, whatever. I mean, I guess good on them for letting just Lindsay to get all of that off of her chest, but it pissed me off to no end. I just don't like Lindsay. I hope she doesn't get a share of this money, is all I'm saying. Brooke is sitting down and talking to the crew, and she's allowing everyone to tell their truths. And one of the coolest twists I've seen in a reality show, each envelope has every vote that they cast in every ceremony. Julia freaks out to the camera because she has lied to everyone about her vote. She said that they don't have to share, but each person that shares will get $5,000 added to the pot. So that's 6 people, $30,000. Nobody has to open their envelope. However, if they all decide to open their envelope, they will double the money, making it $60,000. And you have to like reveal it to everyone. Brian tells the camera, if you don't share your history, you can't be trusted. You will go home. This guy went from, I'm not voting anybody out, to playing the game, and I love seeing it. This is a guy, he's playing for money. He's playing for, he has integrity. I will say that I feel like his integrity, his shtick has been very truthful. However, he saw, people lining up to potentially get him out the door, and it was time for him to make a move. Jasper shares his only winning was only winning, which was 5,000. Jake is up, same boat, only Winnie. Brian, same boat, only voted for Winnie, so that's $15,000. Lindsay isn't thrilled. Everyone is sharing theirs. Obviously, Tolu's excited to see Lindsay share her history. Lindsay knows if she reveals it, it will shock everyone. So she does. Joelle's, Bryce, and Winnie were all on her card. Brian was floored because she has lied to everyone. She says, I stand by my votes, and then she reveals why Joelle's and Bryce, she voted them out. Jasper is shocked, and he believes that finally Tolu is telling the truth, and he does not even understand what is going on. Of course, Tolu's turn. She speaks up. She voted Joelle's, Bryce, and Lindsay. Tolu called Lindsay a snake ass bitch. Take that, bitch. Jasper said if they want to get people out for voting, if they keep one of them and not the other one, it means it would be bad on them. Julie's turn. Will she add the 60K to the pot, or will she chicken shit out? She's conflicted, but she announces Joelle's, Simon, and Bryce, and revealed she wouldn't vote for Winnie. Brian said, you got Lindsay, Tolu, and Julie all have lied to them. $30,000 to the pot has been added. It's doubled to $60,000. All right. Brooke announced that there was only 2 more trust ceremonies left. Brian said we could all agree to disagree and walk away from this experiment without having to have any issues. Lindsay said, were you not here when everyone said what they said? Instead of she says she isn't not voting. She is going to vote. Tolu apologized to everyone for what she said. Apologized to Lindsay for what she said. Brian says to the camera, one person is willing to work on things, the other one is not. We were reminded that Julie, Brian, and Jake's vote do not count. Brian said, I'm supposed to be voting today, but he isn't voting. Jake says the same thing. He understands both sides of things with Tolu and Lindsay. He thinks he can pull things together. He isn't voting either. Julie's turn. Julie said she feels no matter what she does, she's letting someone down. She isn't voting for Lindsay, and she's not voting for Tolu. Lindsay, of course, votes for Tolu, and Tolu does the same for Lindsay. Jasper, who's unsure what to do next, said he's going on a limb and voting someone out. This is where things get freaking crazy on this show, and I loved every moment of it. Brooke has returned to announce the result that someone is going home. The person going home is Lindsay. Oh my God, Jasper did it. Thank fuck she's gone. Jasper, you are a reality TV legend for the rest of my existence. I love you. I love you. Lindsay said she is shocked. She thinks maybe the wrong votes were canceled out. Jake hugs her, said, I always had your back. Jasper said that you know what Tolu is and you don't know what Lindsay does. And I completely agree. We are down to 5 with only 1 vote left. That was an intense, crazy end of episode 7 of The Trust, A Game of Greed. I was blown away by this episode because just as you think that you might know where the show is going, so many twists and turns. I really loved it. Jasper pulling the trigger to get rid of Lindsay. Can the last final 5 be the final 5? Will they split the money? Will somebody else get eliminated? Who the hell knows? I'm excited to find out who will walk away with the money. Stay tuned next week, January 24th, the season finale. I can't wait to share my thoughts with you.